The upper chest is one of the most important parts to develop if you want to build a truly aesthetic physique. If you look at a lot of modern physiques like Alex Eubanks or old school builds like Arnold Schwarzenegger, their upper chest is one of the defining factors. And this video, I'm going to break down what I did to develop my upper chest and how I took it from this point to what it is today, right now. How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mustafa, and today in this video I'm going to break down my top 5 chest movements that truly build the upper bench of my chest. Now, I've been going to the gym for 10 years now, and my chest, something that I never really focused on that much because I have a condition called pectus excavatum, which is basically a sunken chest. We have a hole that has zero muscular tissue on it. What that means that you can't develop it. There's no muscle tissue there to grow. That means it's gonna stay the same. So I kind of gave up on my chest and focused on other areas like my back, which became my most dominant sides. But in hindsight, the past 2 years, I put a lot of focus on my chest, and I thought, you know what it is? If there is no muscle tissue there in that one spot, I can instead focus by working around it, focusing on the upper shelf, on the side bits, and my chest right now looks super aesthetics. And my top 5 movements for building it, let's get straight into it. At number 5, we have Smith machine incline bench. Now, the main thing you have to keep in mind when developing your upper chest is that you want to put your chest, particularly the upper part, in a position where you're able to feel it being engaged. And when doing free weights, I feel a lot of control required, a lot of stability, a lot of shoulder engagement, trying to keep the bar still in place. But when you take that out and go to a Smith machine, even better if you have an angled Smith machine like my gym has, what happens is a lot of the sub work, like the stability, the balance, is taken out of the equation, and you can focus purely on engaging your chest. The way I do it is I press up, try and sort of squeeze my chest at the top, bring it back down, go as low as I can until I get a good stretch on the upper part, and repeat. What I find is if I do a pre-exhaust before this, let's say I do a pec fly, just for one set, get some blood flowing into my chest, then I go into incline Smith machine bench, I can really feel that top part being engaged. And besides just being a very safe movement, it also feels very smooth on your joints. So Smith machine incline bench is something I would heavily recommend. At number 4, moving on into some free weights, we have incline dumbbell pressing. I prefer incline dumbbell press over a Smith machine press because with the dumbbells, you can go very deep. Like, if you develop your range of motion and your flexibility, you can get to a point where your dumbbells are even like going so low to the point it's very close to your shoulders, close to your chest. And when you're able to get that deep of a stretch on your muscles, you're almost guaranteed to grow because you're applying high amounts of tension on the stretch position. And because it's a dumbbell, it's a free weight, when you bring it up, you squeeze your arms together, try to bring it as close as possible. A good key for this is try to bring your shoulders together while keeping your back contracted on the bench. And what that would do is you'll get a ridiculous contraction on your chest. And this is why I prefer incline dumbbells over incline Smith machine, because although it's a bit more technical, requires more work, once you master it, you can able to apply high pressure at both the stretch position, both the contracted position, and as well as getting good at carrying with free weights. That strength you build there does correlate into a lot of other exercises. So number 4, dumbbell press. It's a classic, everyone knows this one. Doesn't need much more explaining for it. And number 3, pec deck fly. I know this isn't specifically upper chest movements, but the thing with the pec deck, I can feel all parts of my chest contracted, upper, middle, and lower. I can feel them stretched as well. And the way I do it personally, I like to have my arms a little bit higher. So instead of having it at the handles, I even go a bit higher, like here-ish, when I'm holding it from the upper bit, like in the middle. And what that does, my arms are now at an inclined position, which will engage my upper chest more, but I'm still getting that stretch and contraction that you would get with the regular pec deck fly, except now it's more focused on the upper chest. And the way I do these, I do a thing called myo reps. So I do 5 reps, and then I would hold it out to the sides for 10 seconds. I'm not relaxed, I'm still holding it slightly. The weight is still being carried by my chest. I must be really letting my chest stretch out for 10 seconds. Then I do 5 reps, 10 seconds, hold, repeat at the bottom while stretched, then 5 reps. I prefer to do this with the pec deck fly just because it is so much safer than doing it on Smith or dumbbells or free weights, as well as you can just change the weights very, very quickly, and it's very time efficient. I'm telling you, you can do this with so little weight and it'll kill, because you're essentially allowing a lot of blood to flow to it, you're allowing a lot of tension to be applied while just constantly stretch, and you're mixing rep work with isolation work in just one long set. And if you do that, I'm telling you, your upper chest will absolutely grow. Even the pump after it is absolutely ridiculous. And then at number 2, going into the scary territory right now, we have decline deep push-ups, or decline deficit push-ups as they're known over in the US. Now with these, I like to do them with my body slightly arched, so the glutes in the air, feet on the bench, and I'm specifically driving my face to the floor in a straight line. I'm not arching my back, I'm not trying to use my shoulders or triceps, because when I do it like that and I'm going straight down, that puts all the stretch and all the tension on my chest. And the heavier you are, the more effective this is. So if you're bulking, hell, even if you're cutting, but you're quite like a bulky guy, this is fantastic. The amount of pressure and tension you're applying onto your chest. And when I was getting good at push-ups, it's just really, really good functional strength to have in general, to be honest. And the way I do these is I like to superset it with regular deficit push-ups, or even superset it with knee push-ups. There's an extra way to apply tension. I like to superset this as well with incline bench sometimes. Do incline bench, then right away I do some incline push-ups. And that superset really builds my upper chest. So I also focus on coming down as low as I can. Chest on the floor, then I come up as explosive as I can. And at the top, I'm really pushing. I'm pushing against those yoga blocks or plates or whatever it is you use to give you that deficit. You can use plates, you can use yoga blocks, you can use even like those 2 small benches they might have like in the class studio in most gyms. Anything just to have your arms elevated but chest able to reach the floor will do. But yeah, just explode up while at the top, try and contract your chest, and while you're coming down, make sure that you keep your body in place and let your chest stretch out. But before doing these, make sure you do a lot of warming up for your shoulders. Maybe go on the assault bike for a few minutes, or you can do some band work, just because I have seen people find this to be uncomfortable on the shoulders. But if you truly warm up with either a dumbbell or resistance band, or just focus on just 2 minutes of mobility work before doing that, I can guarantee you that you won't have any issues with your shoulder with it. And lastly, my number 1 incline upper chest movement is, drumroll please, incline flies. Incline cable flies, I find these absolutely phenomenal. They have all the benefits of the pec deck fly that I mentioned earlier, except it's entirely focused on your upper chest. Same stretch, and the contraction you get is ridiculous, because you can control it a lot more than you can with the pec deck fly, because with the pec deck fly, it's not really designed to be held there. So although it feels really good, and if you do it right, you can feel a good contraction. With this, because your arms are able to get so close together, and because you're kind of lying down, you're able to force your back to be contracted. So this way you can force your shoulders to kind of really come together, which just gives you a solid squeeze on that upper chest. And you can, of course, you can experiment. You can do like myo reps, like I mentioned, where you hold up for 10 seconds. You can do supersets with like incline push-ups or things like that, or you can just do drop sets. Like I find one of those things is you can easily get very creative with this exercise. And doing that exercise plus the 4 that I mentioned previously in this video together in 1 week, like a probably split, and do that for like a few months, I can honestly guarantee you your upper chest will explode as it did for me. I mean, bro, look at this picture. I look horrible. Like, what is that? But now, of course, it's gotten much better because I made it into a priority. Because a lot of people do have a bit of a limiting belief that they can't develop their chest because they think it's purely genetics. And admittedly, let's say you touch your upper chest here and you feel nothing, like it's just pure bone, nothing else, then you will struggle a little bit. However, if there is some tissue there, even a little bit, even just a little bit of muscle tissue, that means you can develop it, you can grow it. And as you grow it, eventually you'll have enough muscle that when you go on a cut, you get lean, you'll have that visible upper chest line. And bro, just commit, do high weights, do a lot of volume. I know that a lot of people tell you that avoid junk volume, but the way that I see it, if you really want to develop your chest, the way I would go about it is that train your chest, upper chest, as much as you can. Have a good amount of tension, get some DOMs, and then after it recovers from those DOMs, the day it feels fine, the day you have no shoulders, chest, your joints, everything's good, train it again, even if it's not your split. Because the way I went about it, I had a push-pull legs, but there are days where I did push, which was incline, which was focused on my incline chest. But then 2 days later, my incline chest, my chest feels fine, it recovered fully. So that day becomes another chest day. Because I understand that having a split, you gotta balance everything out. But to me, that was a priority, and other parts like my back, for example, were not. So I dialed my back a lot, so I trained it significantly less. But what I did is that it helped me focus on that part, my upper chest, because my back is fine. It doesn't need any more volume. It was super aesthetic. So I thought, okay, let me take out that volume and replace it with more chest work, just to give my physique a more balanced look. And for you, maybe your arms are fine, maybe your legs are a strong point. In that case, take volume out of your legs, make that one body part that you don't care about less intense, or that is already very well developed, and give that volume to the part that is lacking. I find that always makes sense to me, because people will tell you that's strong volume, but when you explain it like that, it makes a lot more sense, right? You think, oh, this is sick. And if you do that, I can guarantee you, in a few months, your upper chest will blow. And if you want my exact upper chest training routine, the one that I did during my bulk, DM me on Instagram the word upper chest. It'll be the link in the description down below, and I'll send you my Google Doc of the plan that I did. Sets, reps, when I did my reps, when I did supersets, all the good stuff, absolutely free of charge. And that's the end of the video. If you liked it, please do like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, and if you do, I'll be your best pal. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Take it easy.